And from the foreign scene, Turkish government moves to cushion effects of recent quake. A very good evening to you. Welcome to the news at 7. My name is Obi Chukwemeka Oti. For the first time in 17 years, Nigeria, Africa's biggest economy, is gearing up for the conduct of a population and housing census. Having held its last census in 2006, with the country's population at 140,431,790, development watchers have described the 2023 census, when conducted successfully, as one which will aid rapid development if properly utilized. Osrc Zaid Aribisala takes a look at the importance of the population and housing census and the strategies being put in place for its conduct.
The question about what Nigeria's population is often elicits different responses. For some, the biggest black nation in the world has a population of around 200 million people, while for others, that projection is not a true reflection of things. Nigeria's failure to conduct a population census in the last 16 years since the 2006 population census, which pegged the country's population at 140,431,790, is believed to have done more harm than good.
For a very long period, we have refused to review our population. We are only speculating, saying that we are 200 million people in Nigeria. But if we get accurate data, for us to be able to plan as town planner, to share resources, to be able to earmark our land that is fused in nature for the different components of the environment will be much easier. In fact, without data, data is the basis upon which we can do effective planning and resource allocation.
In less than a month's time, a population census will once again be conducted across the country with the aim of collating relevant data for national planning. Economic expert Olaoluwa Bankole advocates for more attention to be accorded to data collection in Nigeria.
The fact that you also need population to determine the seat that is allocated to a state. For instance, everybody used to say that in Nigeria now, Kano State has the largest electoral college in terms of the number of House of Representatives that they have. We know that every state has three senators, the big and the small. But for House of Representatives, it is the population that is used to determine the number of seats that will be allocated to a particular state. So you can see that in all of this, it's very, very important that a country actually know what the population census, the number of the people that are living within it, within a given period of time, because without that, it's just like somebody groping in the dark.
According to Ondo State Director of National Population Commission, Oluyemi Falusi, the 2023 census will be carried out with the aid of technology for efficiency.
We are not going to use biro paper to collect the information, and we've also started being digital right from the enumeration area demarcation, which is the division of large areas into smaller units that can be easily counted by one or two enumerators during the census. So we are using digital maps that are in our PDAs, that's our phones. We are using apps to collect information, and even the transmission of results or returns is also going to be digital. There is a central dashboard that will be in Abuja that, as the work is going on, everything about the work is being monitored.
Falusi will explain that the Population Commission has embarked on training of personnel for the exercise, sought cooperation of residents for an overall success.
And census is just not the aggregate number, but that how many are we? No, it's beyond that. How many are we, and how are we? What are we? The differences in sex, male, female, types of buildings, even the structure of construction of buildings, almost everything that we can call information about human being and their environment, we are collecting for this census. So it's useful for students who want to do their research projects, useful for private individuals who want to start businesses. You can get the number of children in an environment. Maybe you want to start a nursery primary school, you want to build an industry, you can do your estimate and a lot of other planning with the census results.
The 2023 Population and Housing Census is scheduled to hold between March 29th and April the 2nd. Sahida Aribisala, Osrc News.
To the legislature now, the Ondo State House of Assembly has confirmed members of the State Independent Electoral Commission, ODEC. The confirmation took place at the plenary presided over by the Speaker, Mr. Bamidele Olerelogun, after the submission of the screening report by House Committee on Selection. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshilela Dese Ajayi now reports.
The nominees are Dr. Joseph Ibekele Aremo as the chairman, Dr. Soji Omowole Oladele Akinyelure, Mr. Adeleye Adeniyi, Mrs. Stella Omotosho, Mr. Rotimi Olorunfemi and Dr. Ibrahim Ojo, and the confirmation of their appointment as sequel to submission of reports by screening committee headed by the Speaker, Bamidele Olerelogun, after a thorough investigation on their personalities. While submitting the report on behalf of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, Samuel Aderoboye, acknowledged that the nominees are fit for the appointment based on their experience.
All the nominees standing before these honorable members, right by my right, explains respondents to all questions raised by the committee members. They articulated highlighting their clear understanding of the visions and mission of Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission.
The majority leader of the House, Oluwole Ogunmolashuyi, commended Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu for choosing the right people to serve the people of Ondo State, noting that their wealth of experience will no doubt contribute to the development of the grassroots.
Motion that the appearance and confirmation of the nominee as chairman and member of Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission
advised the appointees to work in line with the provision.
Like this great house, as chairman and member of Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission, would differ from you. First of all, say aye. Aye. Against it. Yes.
Responding on behalf of the ODEC members, Dr. Joseph Aremo promised that visions of the Constitution and remain unbiased.
We shall not disappoint people from the state. We shall not disappoint the legislative chamber. Every time, every day, every season, we shall make recourse where needed to ensure that the vision of the commission, which is anchored on credibility, transparency, in terms of the conduct of elections, we are right, and we are ready at all time.
Omoshileola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the appointment of former Chief Judge of Ondo State, Justice Williams Akintoroye, as chairman of the State Public Complaints, Financial Crimes and Anti-Corruption Commission has been ratified by the House of Assembly. The move followed a request from the executive arm of government in accordance with the Constitution. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshilela Dese Ajayi again reports that the other Ogungbemi and Mrs. Fumi Oshundolire. We hope to bring you that report in the course of the news. From the legislative arm to judiciary, Justice Babajide Aladejana of Ekiti State High Court has been reinstated to office after 16 years of suspension by the National Judicial Council. Aladejana was suspended from office in 2006 with the state's former Chief Judge, Justice Kayode Bamishile, under the administration of the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Alpha Belgore. The duo were suspended for their alleged roles in the political crisis that led to the impeachment of the former governor of the state, Ayodele Fayose, in October 16, 2006, over alleged 1.4 billion naira poultry scandal, abuse of office, and illegal operation of a foreign account. The lift of his suspension followed the review of the NJC. He was subsequently allocated High Court Number 2, where he will be hearing cases and performing other judicial functions. You're watching the news at 7 on OSRC TV. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. Thank you for rejoining us. You can also watch us live on our website, www.osrc.ng, and you can also follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. Now to politics. The flag bearer of the Labour Party, LP, in Saturday's presidential election, Peter Obi, says he won the election and he will explore all legal options to reclaim his mandate. Obi, who said this at a press conference in Abuja, said he will be challenging the process. According to Obi, the poll did not meet the minimum standard for a free and fair election, adding that the poll will go down as the most controversial election conducted in Nigeria. Also in attendance at the briefing is the party's national chairman, Julius Abure, as well as the Director General of the Obi's presidential campaign, Akin Oshutokun. He added that himself and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, remain committed to a new Nigeria. Meanwhile, the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is addressing a press conference on the party's position on the just concluded presidential election. We'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletin.
If he has addressed what you want to ask, there's no need, please. Okay. Yes. Okay, this one will be the last one indeed.
A very good evening, Your Excellency. All protocols duly observed. My name is Atinuke Tokuranoke from Silverbird News 24. You spoke about the judiciary, comparing it as before. So what if you seek redress and at the end of the day you're not given fair judgment? What next would you do?
Like I said,
full judgment at the apex court, you know, I appeal to God.
That's a good one. PDP! Power to the people!
We'll now bring you the report on the appointment of former Chief Judge of Ondo State, Justice Williams Akintoroye, who has been as chairman of the State Public Complaints, Financial Crimes and Anti-Corruption Commission, has been ratified by the House of Assembly. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshile Adesi Ajayi again reports that other members of the commission are Professor Adewale Adeyeye, Christopher Ogungbemi, and Mrs. Fumi Oshundolire.
The Ondo State House of Assembly had, on January 2022, passed the anti-corruption bill into law with the aim of promoting probity and accountability. Forwarded the list of members of the anti-graft agency to the State Assembly for approval. While submitting reports on the screening of the nominees on behalf of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker Samuel Aderoboye expressed confidence in the ability of the Chairman of the Commission, Justice Williams Akintoroye, and other members to perform.
Possess the required experience, the much needed exposure to function effectively as Chairman and members of Ondo State Public Complaints, Financial Crimes and Anti-Corruption Commission. C. Possess the required academic qualifications to function effectively if appointed these days to perform their function.
Other lawmakers who took their turn charged them to work without bias. The Speaker then confirmed the appointment of the nominees after a voice vote by the lawmakers.
I want to appreciate Mr. Governor for choosing people of unconscionable characters. This is a challenge to all other civil servants across board. There are still tomorrow. And there are payment for loyalty, honesty, hard working, and dedication anywhere you are. It's a lesson for all of us.
Meanwhile, a bill for a law to amend the Ondo State House of Assembly Service Commission Law 2021 also entered first reading. From Ondo State House of Assembly, Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, says the outcome of last Saturday's presidential election was a reflection of the wishes of the electorate. The governor described the election as the freest ever held in the country. The governor, who spoke to newsmen in Abuja at the International Conference Center, venue of the presentation of Certificate of Return, Bola Tinubu as president-elect and the vice president-elect, Kashim Shettima, said a committee of leaders of the All Progressives Congress APC would soon begin with co-contestants of the president-elect in a bid to assuage their loss in the just concluded presidential election. He stressed that every aggrieved person will be met for reconciliation. The governor, while describing the massive votes recorded by candidates of APC in the presidential and National Assembly elections in Ondo State as attestation to the love of the people for his administration, expressed happiness that his people willingly supported his clamor for a Southern president after President Buhari's 2 terms tenure. In the same vein, the Ondo State Inter-Party Advisory Council has congratulated the President-elect Bola Tinubu on his victory in last Saturday's presidential elections. The body, in a statement by its chairman, Mr. Adesonya Olaoluwa, expressed optimism in the leadership of the President-elect to deliver on the mandate given to him by Nigerians. Your statement also congratulated the governor, Oluwarotimi. Bola Tinubu is indeed the people's clear choice. News conference, Adamu said the party is out to share the spirit of the moment with Nigerians. The APC chairman saluted the free and fair decision of Nigerians and also applauded President Buhari for standing by the party and its candidate. Adamu, who extended an olive branch to all presidential candidates who lost the polls, asked Nigerians to rise up against those calling for the cancellation of the election and urged all aggrieved persons to seek legal redress. And former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and also quit partisan politics. This is coming hours after his party, the PDP, lost the presidential election to the All Progressives Congress (APC). Fayose said the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, rejected the offer of one term in office to get the G5 governor's support. Fayose, who accused the national chairman of the party, Iyorchia Ayu, of the failure of the party at the poll, urged the party to accept defeat, alleged We now return to the story of the flag bearer of the Labour Party LP in Saturday's presidential election, Peter Obi, saying he won the election and he will explore all legal options to reclaim his mandate. Obi, who said this at a press conference in Abuja, said he will be challenging the process. According to Obi, the poll did not meet the minimum standard for a free and fair election, adding that the poll will go down as the most controversial election conducted in Nigeria.
And in all things, we give thanks to God. For me, number one thing is gratitude. Gratitude to God Almighty that continue to protect and bless our dear country, Nigeria. Number two is gratitude to Nigerians that participated in the election, answering the call as true citizens in our dear country. Number three is gratitude to those of Nigerians, especially the youth, that believed and worked tirelessly for a new Nigeria and trusting that new Nigeria on that thing and my good self. I thank them for their hard work. Gratitude to the obedience youths, those who believe that a new Nigeria is possible. And I say to them that a new Nigeria is possible. And we'll
Also in attendance at the briefing is the party's national chairman, Julius Abure, as well as the Director General of Obi's presidential campaign, Akin Oshuntokun. He added that himself and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, remain committed to a new Nigeria.
Conducted and results announced as programmed. It is a clear vision from electoral rules and guidelines, as we were promised. This election, as you know, did not meet the minimum standard expected of a free, transparent, credible, fair election.
Moving on to other stories now, President Muhammadu Buhari has felicitated the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, on his 81st birthday. The Special Advisor, Media and Publicity to President Buhari, Femi Adesina, in a statement said the President rejoiced with the religious leader and was thankful for Adeboye's positive influence on people and institutions, with a focus on expanding the kingdom of God on earth. Buhari said he remained grateful for the friendliness and wise counsel of the General Overseer over many years, especially the visits and prayers when he was ill and recuperating. Buhari prayed that Almighty God will continue to bless and guide Pastor Adeboye and his family. We'll now move on to the foreign scene. The Turkish government is rolling out financial support for quake victims and businesses. It has also banned workplaces from sacking staff in affected areas. But secure authorities are under pressure from people who say the emergency response was too slow. Odoaya Sawyer reports.
These are tough times for Suleihan. The tent where she lives was overcrowded, so she sends two of her children along with grandchildren to Ankara. She misses their old life together, raptured by the quakes.
We desperately need help. I was planning my daughter's wedding when the quake hit, but we lost our house and all the valuable gifts we bought for her. Tell me what I can do. I have 7 children and need help so I can look after their needs.
He heard the same story and the same concerns across a vast region devastated by two powerful earthquakes. This is a delicate moment for the government, which has been facing anger in the 11 provinces hit by the earthquakes. But officials say that the earthquake mobilization and the financial aid are the largest in modern Turkish history. But many here are still worried that after losing everything, their loved ones, their homes, and their livelihood, they may not get all the support they need. People are queuing for food and then waiting for their turn in front of mobile cash machines to receive money.
Right after experts inspected the damage to my house, I received an SMS message saying $530 in compensation.
Every family will receive $250 as a rental payment and a $150 monthly allowance for 1 year, a mammoth commitment for a country dealing with a string of economic problems. But in the meantime, it is NGOs and volunteers who are stepping into the fray. These are students from Shali Offa on their way to entertain children in the makeshift camps in Adiama.
If we can make them smile, that would be great. If they are happy, they will spread happiness. They are our future and our hope.
For a few moments, it is time for fun. Volunteers turned clowns, providing a reminder of happier times and the hope, a glimpse of what is to come. Odwayo Sawyer, Osrc News.
To round off the news tonight, here again are the major stories. As population census is set to take place in the country after 17 years, experts have stressed its importance to national development. We also told you that Ondo State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of members of the State Independent Electoral Commission, just as it also ratified the appointment of the Chief Judge Justice William Sakintoroye and 3 other justices for the state's Public Complaints, Financial Crimes and Anti-Corruption Commission. The Labour Party presidential candidate in last Saturday's election has vowed to challenge the outcome of the election in court. And from the foreign scene, we told you that the Turkish government has commenced moves to cushion the effect of recent earthquake in the country. And that's the news at 7. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Good evening.